Hello everyone, from today we will learn a new course, Huawei HCIA course together. This is very important course for our network communication engineers. And today we will learn the lecture 1, Data Communication Network Basis. We will learn some basic concepts on data communication and network. These are some Huawei device icons. Later on, we will frequently use all these icons. If we use them, you need to refer back to these slides to see what it is. So now, let's begin the communication and networks. We learn the concept of network communication. So for the concept of network communication, actually we just now learned that communication actually is the information transfer and exchange between people, between things. And if we talk about network communication, actually that should be the communication between terminal devices. Typically that is computers, and that should through a computer network. So for example, if one computer needs to download some data from another computer, which is directly connected with this one, that is kind of communication. Or the file transfer between two networks which are not directly connected, but are connected between using a router, that is also communication. Or if a computer downloads some data or files from a server through the internet, that's also network communication. Next, we will talk about what is information transfer process. Actually, the information transfer process is very similar as the real object transfer. So for example, if in our real world, one object wants to be transferred to another place, then it typically should be packaged and then delivered to be a distribution center, and then put it into the airplane to be delivered to another distribution center, and then depackaged. That's all, right? So similar with this process, actually the data communication network, the information transfer in networks also like that. So there are terminal devices, which is computers, and they want to transmit some object. The data or files are the object of the information transfer process. And then the data should be encapsulated, meaning we need to add some header or tails on the data to form a new packet. And then we transmit in unit of packet. And where does this packet transmit to? Actually, they are first to transmit to some gateway router. Here, the gateway means the router which used to connect the computer into the internet. So this is the first router. And the packet is transmitted to the gateway router, and then through the internet to another gateway router. And then here, the packet should be decapsulated, meaning we need to remove the header or tails and get the payload out. Okay, so finally received the payload correctly. Then that finish the whole information transfer process. So you can see that this process actually is much more similar as the real object delivery process. Yeah, so these are the common terms we have just now introduced. You can refer to these words. For example, what is terminal device? That's the computer. What is router? What is gateway? What is encapsulation, decapsulation? What is the data payload? We have just now explained in that process, right?